Hey guys, it's Jessie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video and welcome back to a very exciting one. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. It's a trend I have seen going around every now and again, and I believe it was Megwithbooks that I first saw do this. And today we're going to be doing a 5-star audit where I'm basically going to be going through all the books that I've given 5 stars, or like the ones that still remain pretty high in my mind, and also some 4.5s and 4.75s I really enjoy. And I'm going to be trying to sort them into like categories and tropes and things like that, so that I can see like what type of books do I really give 5 stars, and then see if there's any on my TBR that kind of fit into those categories and things like that. I thought this would be really fun because I have been wanting to do also a 5-star prediction video for ages, and I feel like I don't really know what I give 5 stars. I don't really like have a very good sense of my reading taste that's like not just super general. So I'm very much excited to have a look through all the books that I've rated highly and see kind of what ties them together. So as you can see here, we have a little Canva sheet thing where I have all of my 5 stars listed at the top, and then some of my favourite 4.5s, 4.75s below, and I have a little space here to put in some little categories, I guess. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, I guess. So for our first category, I think the most obvious one that I know I like is mixed media. So I'm gonna put that as a little title here, and let's see what kind of fits in across. So firstly, I would say the Good Girls Guide to Murder series definitely fits in here. Also true crime story will fit in very well. Please ignore these little like Canva measurements, but yeah, true crime story fits in very well with mixed media. Murder in the Family is mixed media. I loved that one. Then Gemina also is a 4.5, I believe 4.75, but that was also mixed media. I guess I would kind of put Penance in there as well. This one was like a fiction book but told like a non-fiction true crime, if that makes sense, so I guess that kind of counts as mixed media too. Shark Heart was partially scripts as well, so I guess that fits too. Oh my god, there's so many, and I believe that's all of them. I wouldn't really count Horror Story as mixed media because it was just kind of the layout, but yeah, I love a mixed media book. It's like my absolute favourite. So yeah, that definitely fits in as one of our topics. Okay, so now we have our first category kind of finalised. I want to look through my TBR to see if I have any that I feel potentially fit into that category and could be 5 stars. Okay, so I have had a little scurry around my TBR, the books that I think could potentially fit into these categories. For mixed media, I've got 3, and these are all slightly different. I'm very excited about all of these, to be honest. Firstly, we have Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is kind of your classic mixed media murder mystery type thing. We have like little reports and pictures, but also a lot of it is written in regular text. This one is pretty long, but it's one that I've been very excited about for like a long time, and yeah, it just looks really intriguing. This one was on a previous TBR and I didn't quite get round to it, but I do want to get around to it this year, and I know I will finish it before the end of the year because I do finish all my books that have been on a TBR at one point before the end of the year. So it's got a decent amount of little mixed media bits, but it does look like kind of decent chunks are kind of not mixed media and just regular text. So I guess it's a mix between the two, but very much excited about this one. This is potentially my most solid like option out of these ones. Then we have the Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. I have read The Appeal, The Christmas Appeal, and The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels by her. All of them have been above a 4, but none have been quite a 5. This one I think could have the potential because I've heard the twist in this is really good, and sometimes like a very good twist can get me, as long as there is other kind of like drawing in aspects of a thriller. I think this one is told in like audio transcripts from a podcast, a few like interviews, so I definitely think this will be fun. The only thing that I'm a little bit nervous about is the fact that it is just audio transcripts. I guess there's not like a variety of mixed media, but overall I am excited. I think I will have a very good time with this. I'm also very excited for her new book The Examiner. I also think I might like that too, but this one will also be fun, and I believe this is like a missing person murder mystery rather than like solid murder. And then finally we have one that I'm actually really looking forward to, and it's been sat at the back of my TBR cart, so I do think I accidentally gloss over it a little bit, but that is Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar. So I believe this is kind of similar to Penance in the way that it's like a fiction book told as if it's like a true crime novel, which is very exciting. I believe it's kind of like about a serial killer and kind of like the person investigating it. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. The only thing that kind of makes me a little bit nervous, and I know this sounds so stupid, but it's because it's written by a man and it's blurred by Stephen King, so I'm kind of a little bit worried that I won't absolutely adore it. So we've got some interviews there as well, which I think is a little bit stupid of me, but like I can't help that does make me a little bit tentative, because I don't like kind of classic crime detective books where it's like a hardened detective and he's struggling with an alcohol problem and he's divorced and it's his final case after he's come back after having a traumatic event. That kind of classic grizzled dark crime detective thing. I don't think that's necessarily going to be what this one is, but I'm just a little bit tentative looking at it now and looking at the mixed media and stuff. Also, it's not super long either. It's only about 300 pages, so actually I think maybe this is one I might bump up my TBR a little bit. I definitely think I could get to this soon and really enjoy it. Next up, we have a second category. Let's just do this one down here, and for this one, we know I love a little bit of a feminist retelling. We love a woman's perspective, etc, etc. So I'm just going to put feminism on here. It doesn't have to be like non-fiction lecture-y, but just like I do a feminist perspective actually. So for this one, Ask for Andrea definitely fits. That's definitely a more feminist perspective. Also Bright Young Women, absolutely. I also think Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. Dolly Alderton, Everything I Know About Love is kind of about girlhood, but I wouldn't really quite class it as like feminism. Stone Blind also fits into this category. That's a like feminist Medusa retelling, I guess. And then, are any of these? No, I don't think so, but yeah, I'm happy with those ones. I definitely think those fit into that one. So that is only 4, but I definitely think it'll be fun to have a look through and see if I have any others on my TBR that I think fit into that category. So next up for our category, we have kind of a more feminist perspective. So this is one that I didn't have all too many that I had enjoyed previously, even though it's something I always seek out in books. So I've got 4 options here, and they all kind of take a different twist on it. The one I'm most kind of confident with and I think fits this category best is The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. This is a non-fiction, which I do love feminist non-fiction. This is about the victims of Jack the Ripper and kind of telling their story and the fact that they've often been overlooked. I'm very much interested in this. There's also some pictures in here, which is really interesting. I think this is going to be an excellently told reclaiming of a true crime narrative, so I'm very much excited about this one. It's won the Bailey Guilford Prize for Non-Fiction in 2019, which my favourite non-fiction ever won in 2021, I believe, or 2020, I'm not sure, but Empire of Pain, my fave, that one in 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. So I definitely will be keeping my eye out on that award, I think. But I love kind of a non-fiction like this, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. Then I'm not sure quite how much this fits in. I mean, I think it's going to take the more feminist route, but like I also don't know. This is on my TBR for the month, and this is My Dark Vanessa. You guys probably know about this one, but this is basically about a woman who had a relationship with her teacher when she was 15, and in the modern day he's being accused of sexual assault, but the girl Vanessa, she is kind of under the impression that it was all consensual, so she's kind of grappling with that and coming to terms with it. It's not saying anything about feminism on it, which I feel like is something that they would say, maybe, I don't know, but I think it could potentially give that vibe. I don't think it would be an anti-feminist message. I don't know, we'll see. I thought this could maybe fit into that category. Then we've got the classic kind of feminist Greek mythology retelling. This one's Clytemnestra. So it's basically she was born to a king but marries a tyrant. She watches helplessly as he sacrifices her child to the gods. She bides her time, she plots her revenge, she knows how to play this game. If power will not be given to her, she will take it for herself. So I think that kind of screams feminism for me, I hope. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm very much thinking that it might give those feminist retelling vibes. I've heard really excellent things. My friend Phoebe said that this is her fave retelling, so hopefully I will really much enjoy this, and I think it kind of fits into the feminism side. And then this one a little bit less so, but this is The Bandit Queens by Parani Shroff, and on the back here it says a sobering but hopeful exploration of womanhood. Maybe that type of vibe, I'm not too sure. This is about wives who I believe team up and murder people, I'm honestly not sure, but it does say a darkly irreverent and fresh take on a feminist revenge thriller, which I think hopefully should fill that vibe. So this is another one I'm looking forward to. For another category, let's do maybe like getting to kind of like the crux of humanity and like the human experience. Like, how would I phrase that? What it means to be human, I guess, as a category, which sounds a bit odd, but you'll kind of know what I mean when I start putting books in this category. So firstly, for this one, I think Beartown fits in here, kind of like a character study as well type of thing. I'll do that as well. And this isn't necessarily just like character focused books, it's kind of with the aforementioned like what it means to be human kind of perspective too. So that one fits in. The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman definitely fits in. Would Convenience Store Woman maybe, but maybe not quite. Definitely The Man Who Died Twice, also by Richard Osman. I think Shark Heart definitely fits in here too. Oh, that was not meant to happen. What else we have? I think Ask for Andrea fits in here as well, in kind of the way that I mean. And Bright Young Women, I think, also has these kind of vibes. To be honest, The Last Murder at the End of the World also has these vibes, so I'm going to include that too. Okay, that's fun. That actually had more than I expected. Maybe, no, I don't really quite think Everything I Know About Love quite fits in that one. In the Lives of Puppets, a little bit as well actually, so I'm going to put that one in there too. Oh my god, we actually did so well with this one. I did not expect us to have so many in this category. So I'll have a look on my TBR. I think this probably will be reasonably easy to find ones for kind of like the this is humanity type of vibes. I do have quite a lot of options, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to enjoy all of these. Firstly, we'll get the two out the way that I think are the most obvious, and those are my two Fredrik Backman books. I love Fredrik Backman. Beartown is kind of the epitome, I think, of what I mean by this genre. So we've got A Man Called Uwe and Us Against You, which is the sequel to Beartown. I think I'm going to really enjoy both of these, and these are probably both 5-star predictions for me. Like, I do think I'll really enjoy both of these. I do think this is more Beartown vibes, but I do think this is more like speak to what it is to be human type of vibes, I guess. I think this is going to be a really sweet story, and it's kind of what I was maybe looking for in All the Lonely People, which I read recently, but I think this might do kind of that a bit better. Then I have, on a similar vibe, because we know I really like the Swedish translations clearly, we have The Prophet and the Idiot by Jonas Jonasson, and I believe this is kind of a similar vibe to Fredrik Backman. I believe it's Swedish as well, and it also kind of gives off similar vibes. I don't know why my copy looks like it's been dropped in the bath, but it's kind of like old people kind of trying to like do things they want to do, I believe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well, but that's not kind of on my radar at the moment. These three maybe less so, but they're also ones that I am very excited about. I know very little about most of these, so I won't be doing too much description, but we've got Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I want to get to this one so soon. I'm so excited for this one, but like I haven't found the chance to fit it into a video, so really looking to pick this one up soon. I think I'm going to absolutely love it. She talks to an octopus, so I feel like that's like the epitome of what I want to be reading. Then we have an intimidating one, but one I think I might really enjoy is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I feel like this might be a little bit of an emotional one because she like can't be remembered, but she's immortal, and then I think maybe she does get remembered and falls in love with someone. I don't even know. So it says a dazzling adventure across centuries and continents, across art and history, about a young woman learning how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. So I think that's kind of those vibes maybe, but who knows. This is also a really pretty little signed edition. I was very happy to pick this one up. She's good. So yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to. And then one that I do have plans to read soon is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I believe this is about like the love between people. It says ultimately I need to connect to be loved and to love. So I'm thinking this will be those vibes, so hopefully I enjoy it. But next up, I think I want to do, I've got two I can think of, but I think maybe like a more, it's like a deeper, more heartfelt, like emotional romance. So for this one, I think Just for the Summer definitely fits in here. I also think Part of Your World fits very well in this one too. I think any Abby Jimenez probably, so I'll put yours truly in too, even though we've got like a full series in here. Then I think Funny Story also fits in here, and along with that definitely Happy Place and Love Theoretically. I feel like this one was pretty emotional if I can remember, if this gets out, but actually I think I've got another category that can fit into them, so I'm going to leave that there. And I think the others wouldn't really fit into the emotional category, really, maybe. So let's have a look. I probably have a lot of emotional romances on my TBR, to be honest. Then for the emotional romance category, I actually don't have a lot of these. Honestly, I feel like I have my kind of set romance authors that I like to read every release of, and I haven't necessarily got many of those left to read. But one I was thinking of was A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I've enjoyed The Dead Romantics and The 7 Year Slip. Neither of them were 5 stars, but they are kind of leaning on the emotional side of romance that I do like, so potentially this could be a new favourite from her. This is about a woman who ends up going into her favourite book, and it's very much like an interesting concept. I'm very intrigued by that. And it says whimsical, emotional, tender, funny, breathtaking, hopeful. So maybe a more emotional romance, I'm guessing, because that seems to be what she kind of usually does. So I'm hoping that this definitely fits into that category. I think this is my best bet in terms of like actually being on par with the category. I've also picked The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, maybe. This is more Greek mythology, and I don't know if it's super focused on the romance more so than the retelling, so I don't quite know if it fits in, but I know this is emotional. I know people cry, and I think I might like this for a multitude of reasons, so I'm putting this one here. And finally, this one, I'm not sure if it's more so kind of like coming of age and grief, but I believe there's also a romance in here, and that is The Unsinkable Greta James by Jennifer E. Smith. I don't know too much about this. I know some people have cried. I think it's about like losing your mum, so I think it's going to be very sad, but I do believe she finds love on this trip that she goes on, so who knows, maybe this could fit into this category, but I'm not sure that this would be a 5-star, even though it kind of fits into that category. This one is kind of a more specific trope, my next one, but like looking at a lot of the other romances left on here, like this one very much fits in that trend, and that is One of Us is Famous trope slash celebrity, because obviously sometimes there's 2 of them that are technically famous. So that pretty much covers almost all the romances that are left here. Red, White and Royal Blue, they are both famous politically rather than like singers or anything like that, but that's definitely the case. If this gets out, they're famous. They're in the same boy band. When in Rome, she's a pop star. I was looking at these like, how am I going to link these other romances? That's crazy. I was like, wait, they literally all fit into this one category. Once More with Feeling, which I think is a 5-star. I don't know why I didn't have it listed as a 5-star. And then also Funny You Should Ask by the same author. Lovable, One of Us is famous. This one, they're not famous, and they're not in Love on the Brain either. I don't know if I'd quite put Love on the Brain in emotional either, so that may have to just sit there. So let's have a look and see if I've got any more celebrity romances. I'm not sure, to be honest, if I do, but I mean, I hope so. That would be fun. So for One of Us is famous trope, I have literally nothing. This is a little bit of a stretch. I was looking online. I know there's a couple like The Charm Offensive, Love at First Spite, I believe. There are a couple like the Breakup Tour that I am interested in that I just don't necessarily have in my possession. But the one I do own on my physical TBR is Potentially Powerless by Elsie Silver. It says on the back here, to Jasper Jarvis's fans, here's just a hockey heartthrob on TV. So maybe like giving One of Us is famous vibes. This is a long one as well. This is like over 450 pages, but I'm very excited about this. This one and Reckless are my 2 most anticipated of the series, and this is the next one I have to read. I do think these could potentially be 5 stars, which is very, very exciting. And yeah, I would love some more recommendations though for One of Us is famous trope, because clearly I love it. And yeah, very excited for this one. I definitely need to make time for it very, very soon. This won't be our final category, by the way. It was just like where it was laid out that had the most space, but I will make some more space here. I think I also want to do, this is kind of similar to what it means to be human / character focused, but I want like lovable characters, I guess, as one maybe, / found family maybe type of vibe. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, it's found family, it's found family. I don't love like certain found family books, but like in that way I think of like House in the Cerulean Sea. What else is here? They're kind of found family in Daisy Hates, I can't lie, but I might put this on like a second tier, if that makes sense. But just like ones where I'm like really obsessed with the characters. I think In the Lives of Puppets is another one where this is like definitely the case, or any TJ Klune book really. Is that all of the ones in the found family? That's not as big as a trope as I thought it was of me liking them. I don't know. These ones are kind of found family, but like they kind of hate each other, so I won't include that. Babel's kind of found family, but like I feel like putting it in that category is a little bit limiting. Maybe we'll see about that category, because I feel like that's one that could potentially grow, because I do want to come back to this list and have a look, you know, when I've got another, you know, maybe 10 more 5 stars, see where they can fit in. We'll have a look more found family, see what I have on my TBR. So for like a found family / lovable characters, I didn't really know what to do for this. Kind of, I've picked 2, but I'm not sure how much they fit, because this is also something I feel like you only know once you've read the book. So for lovable characters, I believe this has a rat sidekick that talks. That's the exact reason why it's on this list. That literally sounds exactly like something I'd love, and I feel like that will maybe be my favourite part of the book. I honestly don't really have anything else to say. A little talking rat sidekick. What more do you need? And then for found family, we have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This is about a group of girls from kind of Victorian literature. So like there's Mary Jekyll, there's Justine Frankenstein, Catherine Mordeau. So I think this might also fit into feminism vibes, but they also like all jump in and like talk to each other. So kind of mixed media, but not really. But I think this is gonna have a really nice found family aspect, so I'm very much looking forward to this one too. For this one, okay, this is just like gonna be a bit of a weird category, but like there's certain ones that I think really fit in here, and I'm gonna do commitment to the bit. Like it goes a bit crazy, it goes a bit balls to the wall, but like, you know, you're doing the thing and you've just committed to it, do you know what I mean? So Horror Story is the first one that comes to mind for this. Like that is absolute commitment to the bit. Also The House Across the Lake, 100% is commitment to the bit, and that's kind of, if you've read this book, you kind of know what I mean by like commitment to the bit. Like it's a little bit crazy, it's a little bit outlandish, but like you've gone there. Same for The Last Word, I think commitment to the bit, you know what I mean? And this is like a bit of a weird, I guess, type of way to describe a book, but like I feel like if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. Ask for Andrea, I think almost could be. Do you know what I mean? The fact that they're ghosts can kind of fit in commitment to the bit. And also The Last Murder at the End of the World. One of the plot twists in here is like mad, and I just love it. And I feel like it fits in commitment to the bit. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily know going into these books beforehand whether they would be commitment to the bit, but who knows, hopefully I can find some. And then for commit to the bit, this is one that I feel like you have to just wait until you read the book. It's only really like vibes. So I've just gone for 3 authors that were in that category before, so I think may fit in here. Firstly, we have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I believe this is like a haunted house mystery. I know, ooh, there's like a little like book in a book type section. That'll be fun. Okay, anyway, I know Riley Sager can commit to like doing paranormal vibes, so I hope hope that that is the case here maybe, or like, you know, not just like a cop out, but I really think I might enjoy this. I'm just learning there's a book in the book and that's very much intriguing to me. So yeah, maybe this one. Similarly to how I kind of spoke about The Last Murder at the End of the World committing to it, we've got The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I've also heard that Stuart Turton can go a bit of balls to the wall with the endings, which I also enjoy, and this one's like a crazy concept because it's time travel and like jumping into bodies and stuff like that. Not proper time travel, but like waking up in different people's bodies. So I think that's kind of the epitome of commit to the bit maybe. And then finally we have a Grady Hendrix, which is I think the epitome of commit to the bit. I feel like Final Girl Support Group also fits into this category. We've got We Sold Our Souls, which is about selling your soul to the devil to be a successful musician, and this also has a little bit of media at the start of each chapter, like a little kind of text piece or whatever. So looking forward to that one too. Potential, we will see. I don't know what else I could fit in. I'm trying to think of a category for these. Honestly, I think I can fit Convenience Store Woman into What It Means to Be Human. Not tons, but just kind of like character focused, I guess, because like I feel like these two could pair together well into like dark gothic type of vibes, but like there's plenty of gothic books I haven't enjoyed. This is kind of just like a thriller that I loved, in the way that this is like a romance that I love. This is like my favorite non-fiction, but the only one I could link it to, I guess, is like really well written non-fiction, which would be Divine Might, but how am I meant to know it's really well written? The Hunger Games, I feel like that's just in a league of its own. I like a trial in a book, but like the only other book that I read with trial was like ACOTAR, and that was only part of the book and I gave it a 4, but like the trial part was my favourite. Same with The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I gave a 4.5, and the trial bit was my favourite, but like the rest of the book I didn't quite like as much, and I didn't really feel like putting Serpent and the Wings of Night on this whole thing. Love on the Brain, I just love it as a romance in the same way I kind of love Every Summer After, but like it doesn't fit into like emotional romance or the specific One of Us is Famous trope. And then yeah, Everything I Know About Love, I mean, I guess it's kind of in both of these. I guess we can put it in What It Means to Be Human, I think. I guess that's one that it fits the most, maybe, just to kind of put it in a category. But yeah, these ones don't really fit into the same category, so we'll just kind of leave them there. Next time, I guess, coming back to, maybe we'll have other categories that they can fit into a little bit better. They look really ugly because they're not even in the line, but like that's something I'll sort out behind the scenes. So I do want to do like a quick little reorganization of this, just to kind of see the way it falls. Okay, so I've done a cheeky little bit of reorganization and I've just put it into kind of order of the most frequent tropes, I guess. So yeah, I am a little bit surprised by this, to be honest. Like things like Feminist Perspective was one of the first I came up with, but like I've actually only got 4 favorites on there, but I just feel like I love books like that. And yeah, What It Means to Be Human, I know I kind of love, but I didn't realize quite how much I enjoyed. But I really have just been loving those kind of vibes at the moment. Again, yeah, One of Us is Famous, I know I enjoy, but not quite this much. And yeah, like lovable characters, found family does fall into a similar category to like What It Means to Be Human, but like they are slightly different to me, I guess. And yeah, emotional romances, we know I love. Mixed media is like my favorite premise for a book. And yeah, Commitment to the Bit, it's a funny one, but like I do love when something just like commits to being crazy, being out there, and being a little bit nuts. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just more fun. I'm really interested now looking at this list, and yeah, I'll definitely be coming back to this list. I think I'm going to do a separate 5-star predictions video, and I'll come back to this list kind of like after I've read those and after I do my next 5-star predictions, and we can like add some things to this list. I won't do another whole separate video, I don't think, now that I've got these categories, but like maybe it'll be something in like a doing bookish things type of vlog that I go through again at other points. But yeah, I'm really excited to have done this, and if you made it to this point, leave a little star emoji for like a 5-star so I know that you made it to the end. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like down below, hit subscribe and turn the bell to join a little club, and make sure to turn on all notifications, then you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. And if you're watching my other videos, there'll be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as well as a load linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.